In the kitchen, we're alive. Safari spice, let's fry.
Oh, what's up, guys? What's up? What's up? What's up? Y'all like my song, guys? I did it. Give me credit. I did it. I wrote it. I produced it. I sang it. I did it all. That's my song. No copyright. You guys like it? Why you sound like J Lo? Anyway, listen. What's up? Before we get started, like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much. We have our housekeeping rules. We know anybody that comes in here, you have to bring some food. So I have my strawberries, guys. I told you I'm doing my detox. Last time I had my green juice. Now I have some strawberries. Let's just get that fruit in. Let's keep it moving. This is the cooking. This is the Rhythm Kitchen. It's a cooking channel. This is a cooking show. But I'm hip hop all day long. Listen, I'm assuming that either you don't care or you already know. So if you don't know or you do care, I'm gonna let you. I toured in the golden era of hip hop with BDP. Shout out to Kenny. BDP, Public Enemy, Tribe Called Quest, De La, Q-Tip, Naughty by Nature, Queen Latifah, MC Light, Madonna. It was amazing. It was fun. I had a great time. It was what it was. And here we are now. So I figured my background's like a little bit of hip hop, and I love to cook. And I was like, I'm gonna just mesh. There's a lot of people up here talk doing hip hop and cooking. Shout out to my guy right down the block, Chick Daddy. Snoop did it. Snoop and Martha Stewart, and so I'm just here having fun. My daughter was just like, "Mommy, you need a hobby." I'm glad you got a hobby because you're always in mommy mode, and then they grow up and go off to school or whatever, and then you're like, "Oh, I gotta reinvent myself, and what am I gonna do?" Blah blah blah. Anyway, on that note, we need some sage, guys. Do you guys sage? I'm not saying like you guys gotta be into witchcraft or anything like that, but sometimes when this is a heavy topic. Everything we're talking about, I've got banned twice. I've been in TikTok prison, YouTube prison. I had 2 videos taken down. So I mean, this is a very dark, demonic topic, and I'm usually upbeat and very positive. So sometimes you gotta listen. If it gets too heavy, or you start having nightmares, or is it you gotta light some sage and just rub it on the wall. All right. Anyway, so I got my sage on my desk. This I always spray. I'm gonna get to it. It's my eucalyptus stress relief. I love it. I get it Bed Bath and Beyond just so I could inhale my essential oils. Anyway, guys, let's go. Topic of today: what is Rico? Before we get into that, let's take a look at the jury. We're over here dissecting the crime and dissecting Cassie and the victims and the plaintiffs and who's right and who's wrong. What about the jurors? Let's look at the jurors. I did hear the next victim coming forward that they're going to have a screen in front of their face because Nia got doxxed, which was horrible. That was horrible. So now they're going to have, I think the jury should have been sequestered anyway. Do you guys, let me know in the comments, do you think the jury should have been sequestered? Shout out to the jurors. Would you want to be on this case? Like a lot of people here I see are retired, like they're over 50 because younger people probably just don't have that time. They're trying to grind it out and hustle. Shout out to the podcasters too. Tisa Tells was on ABC. Shout out to her. She's doing her thing. Those podcasters, that's a lot to go up there, stay in Manhattan for a month, 2 months, hotel, airfare, take an Uber, train, eating out. I mean, that's not cheap. It's one thing to get in. I go to New York maybe a few times a year, and I have family up there. Shout out to my sister Monica, I love you. But it's one thing to go, a couple of days, but to stay 2 months like that, that's gonna cost some money. But anyway, here's the jurors. Do you think they should have been sequestered? Do you think they feel safe going home on the train? Do you think they're happy to be there? They want to write a book? I mean, it's definitely intense. I've heard that they were saying that the jurors were laughing, that they're not supposed to talk to each other. They have a binder. They've been sending notes back and forth. So let's see. We have 8 men 4 women. Juror number 1 is a male, 31 years old. He's an investment analyst. Juror number 2 is a male, 39, is a social worker. I would think the social worker could show some empathy. There's another male, 41, prison communications worker. That was funny. Someone who worked at the MDC went to apply for jury duty. The judge was like, "Get out of here." He was like, "You got to screen these people better." Um, juror number 4, he's a male. He's a scientist. There's another jury number 5. He's a male, 68, retired. He used to do finance. Another male, 68, retired, telecommunications. Male, 67, logistics, analysis, banker. He's in banking. He's going to be very analytical. You got a few analytical people. Male, 69, actor and massage therapist. He's an actor. He may be on Diddy's side. Who knows? The female, 30, is a deli clerk. Female, 42, is a nursing aide. Female, 43, a physician assistant. Female, 74, a former treatment coordinator. Do you think this is a jury of his peers from New York? In his age group, majority of them, he's 54, male in his age group from New York. I don't know the race, and I don't know if that would that matter. I mean, he says he's on trial. He's a black man. They're doing the race card. Maybe not. I don't know. But do you think they should have been sequestered? That's pretty intense when they get sequestered. They say the trial's going to go 8 weeks. We should have a verdict by 4th of July weekend. We so far have had 21 witnesses and submitted 200 pieces of evidence. That is a lot, guys. So there was this document. Let's go through this document. Okay, shout out to the Diddy docket. Case 24-2606. This was filed 10/10/2024, October of last year. It's only one page. United States Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit. Okay, so he's trying to do appeal. At a state term of the United States Courts of Appeals for the Second Circuit held at Thurgood Marshall United States Courts 40 Fellow Square Street, New York City on 10th of October. Before William, that's to the judge, order electronically filed United States Appellate versus Sean Combs, a.k.a. Seal Defendant Number 1. Look at this. Look at what this says right here. Why is this so important? Because everyone was saying, oh, Rico has to be a criminal enterprise. Who's the enterprise? Everyone's saying you just can't have one person in the enterprise. But this says defendant number 1 was sealed. That means everyone, all the defendants, I don't know how many there are, everyone got served. It's just his was open. Sean Combs was the only one that's open, that everyone else was sealed. See, he's defendant number 1. Defendant appellate. So we don't know how many there are, but I think as the case moves forward, they're going to open them up. So we have here defendant number 1. Appellant Sean Combs moves for bail for immediate release pending disposition. Okay, this was his bail request. He also requests leave to file his bail motion under seal. His hereby order motion for bail referred to 3 judges and request immediate release pending decision motion to bail. Okay, so this is to show you the Rico is supposed to be an enterprise, that there's more than one. Everyone's saying there's only one person. There is more than one person because they're naming this defendant number 1. It's just everybody else's is sealed. Diddy's isn't sealed. So the question is, who are they and how many are them? And if there's a mistrial or a hung jury, so they have to get 12 people to say guilty. If one person says not guilty, it's a mistrial hung jury. Even if the prosecution says, okay, we're going to push your court back for 2 to 3 years after Trump is no longer president, so you can't get a pardon, he can't file for bail. He revoked his right to apply for bail if he gets a mistrial. He can't do it. Okay, I'm just going to read this. RICO stands for Racketeer, Influence, and Corrupt Organization Act. It is the federal law in the United States passed in 1970 designed to combat organized crime. RICO allows prosecutors to go after the leaders of a criminal organization, not just people who commit the crimes, but people who ought to benefit from or manage those crimes. To prove RICO case, prosecution must show a criminal enterprise exists, an ongoing group, business, or organization. The defendant is associated with the enterprise. The defendant committed at least two criminal acts called predicate acts within 10 years. The acts are related and part of the operation of the enterprise. Common predicate acts under the RICO. So the umbrella of the RICO is a criminal enterprise, and you have to have at least two predicate acts within the last 10 years. The predicate act could be drug trafficking, murder, kidnapping, bribery, money laundering, fraud, mail wire bank extortion, and witness tampering. Now, I see the extortion when Diddy was upset that Cassie was in the studio with Kid Cudi, called the mother, pay me my $20,000 for the studio time. She didn't have it. She took out a home equity line of credit, sent him the $20,000. She got an email from his bookkeeper, and then 2 days later, he sent it back. The CFO testified yesterday that that deposit the CFO made was returned back into Diddy's bank account. They also was saying the CFO also testified that Jeffrey Epstein had invested $10 million in a company that was owned by Revolt. Hold on one second. Let me look that up. The CFO. Hold on. Derek Ferguson. Derek Ferguson is former CFO of Bad Boy Entertainment, COO of Revolt TV, testified showing Diddy Combs' trial. During the testimony, he discussed the structure of Combs' business, including Revolt and his involvement with the company from its launch. Ferguson also confirmed that Combs had signature power over the funds. He further stated that he never witnessed Combs commit violence or SA, but confirmed $20,000 payment made by Ventura's family on Combs in December 2011. Additionally, Ferguson testified that he observed Combs working constantly. So he did testify about the money sent to the mother, to Regina Ventura, and then it was refunded. Highbridge Capital Management. So during his testimony, Diddy's CFO for Bad Boy Entertainment, he testified. Ferguson revealed that the hedge fund that Jeffrey Epstein reportedly invested in, Highbridge Capital Management, owned a stake in Combs' media company, Revolt TV. That's what he testified. So extortion, that's extortion. Bribery, we know with the hotel, the guy testified, the security guard that was making $10 an hour testified. Diddy came in with a machine, counted $100,000 in cash, put it in a brown paper bag, gave it to him. That's bribery. Kidnapping, Capricorn Clark said some jewelry. He had 3 diamond crosses that he was on loan from Jacob the jeweler, I think, for a party in the Hamptons. And when Capricorn Clark got on the plane to Miami, the bag was missing, so he held it for 5 days to take 2 lie detector tests. That would be kidnapping. Witness tampering. Well, witness tampering, we already know that because when they released Diddy's cell phone calls from prison, that he was doing a 3-way call, I think with his sons or something, and they were calling Dawn for making on the band, and they were harassing her not to. I think they called it like 50 times in one day. So that's like intimidating the witness tampering, fraud, murder. I don't know. One of Little Rod's lawsuit had said a rapper by the name of G was shot in L.A. in the studio, and they took him and they put him with the homeless people and tried to say that he was shot outside of the studio, even though the studio had a lot of security. And then he paid allegedly a LAPD officer to cover it up, say he was shot outside. Drug trafficking. I mean, we know he did a lot. I don't know if he was selling it. Let me share my screen. Charge bargaining. Do you guys think now with this Rico's life, one charge of Rico, two charges is transportation, and two charges for SA worker, S worker. So my question is, do you think he was overcharged, undercharged? Do you think the feds are playing dirty? Do you think the feds is actually the racketeer? I think what they try to do is the money game, the long range. I think they just let you run out of money. They just hit you with charge after charge until they run out of money. It's still open investigation. They can still hit them with superseding indictments. They never brought up the gun charges. Charge bargaining, also known as charge negotiation, is a type of plea deal in the criminal justice system. It happens when the defendant agrees to plead guilty to a lesser charge in exchange for the prosecutor dropping or reducing more serious charges. If someone is charged with armed robbery, they might agree to plead guilty to a simple robbery, which carries a lesser sentence if the prosecution agrees to drop the armed part of the charge. Prosecutors save time and resource. Defendant gets a lighter sentence. Courts avoid long trials. Sentence bargaining, agree to plead guilty for a lighter sentence. Okay. Do you think we're 4 weeks in, we're halfway in. Do you think they'll come back and offer him another plea? Do you think Diddy feels like, I know I'm going to spend the rest of my life in jail? I think he didn't take the plea bargain because admission to guilt means they're going to take your money. The man is still worth about $400 million, has $50 million in cash, and he still has 7 kids. So I guess he said, let me fight it, because if I plead guilty, they're going to take my money. What do you think? I hear the jury's not really, I don't know if you can really, like, I believe in street news. I'll take street news over CNN all day long, even though I think CNN is pretty credible. But if you're in the corner and you go live and you see something and you report it, I believe it. So there's a lot of podcasters there talking about the jury, that they don't feel confident about them, that they're laughing and giggling and joking and not paying attention. And they were taking notes and not supposed to talk to each other. I mean, I don't know. She doesn't feel that they're very engaged, but we just have to let the system, if you believe in the system, you have to just let the system do what it does. Let it do what it do. You guys like my little... Okay, let's see. Let me share my screen again. This is going to be a short one, guys. I'm not staying on here too long. It's going to be really short. So here we go. Is this the Enterprise? Is this the Enterprise we're looking at? Did they all turn on Diddy? Did they get immunity? Did they take a deal? Are any of these, we only see defendant number 1 because everyone else is sealed. His was the only one open. Are these any of the co-conspirators? Uncle Paulie, D-Rock, Capricorn Clark, security. Uncle Paulie was security. D-Rock security. Capricorn Clark was assistant. Roger Bond security. Gene Deal security. Capricorn Clark. Oh, I can't wait to watch her testify. I'm waiting. I think they saving her for the end. She definitely took a deal. She's not going to do 15 years for Diddy. You think so? This guy right here was his assistant. What was his name? George Kaplan. He was the one cleaning up the hotel room, setting up the hotel room, getting all the prescription medication in Frank Black and Frank White. Brandon Paul, remember he got arrested on the jet when Diddy was going to travel with his daughters to the Bahamas. It says right here, government exhibit. Are these the co-conspirators right here? Are these his goons? Are these the guys doing all the dirty work? You know, Uncle Paulie right here. Paul Oxford, Reuben Sandy, Sunday. This is the guy who was driving the car when Diddy found out Cassie was seeing Kid Cudi, and he took Capricorn in the car by Bang Bang. He had the Bang Bang with him. And this is the guy, Reuben, who was driving the car. And then the car, when the car, either was the break in or when the car, they put the mocktail cocktail in there, they ran the plates. I think it was a Cadillac Escalade. They ran the plates and it went to Bad Boy Enterprise. But this guy right here, Reuben, was the one who was driving the car. Uncle Paulie was, this name comes up a lot. He was working with um, Nevis Godin, G-O-D, Gan. She was like from Europe. She was a European woman that came over here back in the day and was working with Sony. She met Uncle Paulie, and they were up at Perks, and he said he needed girls for Diddy, at the club. Well, back then was Puff, and she was like, no problem, and she would bring them in from overseas, and eventually, she was arrested. She wrote a book. She wrote a book about being a madam, and hip hop madam. If I can find her picture. I don't know why that story always just pops into my head. Gina Cortez. 1 second, guys. I'm looking up. I wonder if I should read a book. I kind of like biographies. I should really book when I find these things. I really need to bookmark them. I think I'm spelling her name wrong. Gianni. You guys see the Rico? You guys see it or you don't see it? Secret Life. I'm looking for her book. I just pulled it up the other day. I'm spelling her name wrong. Sometimes they wipe things clean on the internet. When you're trying to find articles, news articles, sometimes it's like it's gone. Mhm, mhm. Usually, Google's pretty big. I mean, pretty quick. It usually comes up one, two, quick. One, two, three. She was like the celebrity madam, and then she worked at Sony. I'm gonna find this article. Now I'm determined. She worked at Sony Records. All these other madams are coming up. Heidi Flass, this one. She was deported. Okay, hold on. Was she clean from the internet? I don't think so. I just pulled it up on the other live. I don't know why I can't find it. Sorry, guys. Just like an Italian name. I wish I remember which country in Europe she was at. Was she Russian? Not Natasha. There's so many women coming up here. I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy. But she writes in the book about Uncle Paulie. And she's like, that's how she met Diddy. It's not Heidi Flass. She had a book on Amazon. Let me see. Let me go on Amazon. Like Life of a Madam. She was deported. She was working up in Harlem. Up being deported. There's a book. Bestseller book. She must have been swiped from the internet. This is crazy. Her pictures don't come up now. It was for like Nevis Gordine. Nevis. You guys know who I'm talking about? Uh-uh. And she was arrested in New York in like 1990. She was like 20. She was like 20 years old. I can't find it. I'll just jump on the next live if I find it. I know as soon as I end this live, it's going to come up. For the autobiography. Anyway, guys, I can't find it. I'm gonna find it on the next live and come back. Sorry, I didn't mean to keep you up here. But anyway, like I said, here with Uncle Paulie, there was this madam came here from Europe. She was working at Sony as like an intern or something. She was hanging out in Harlem at Perks, and she was working with Uncle Paulie. I guess Uncle Paulie was working for Puff or doing security, and he was saying, "Bring me some girls," and she was like, "Okay." And she brought some from Europe. She was doing it for a while. Then she became an informant for the feds. Maybe I could find out that way. Hold on. Hold on. She became an informant with the feds. She took a plea deal, so she got a lesser sentence, but she was deported. And it was in the 1990s. It's deportation. Hattie Flex keeps coming up. Sometimes when you put things in as Diddy, when it's back a certain time period, you got to go as Puffy or Puff. He kept changing his names with his crimes. He's like, I don't want to be attached to that crime. These FBI files go way back. They definitely go back. Even though the trials may be only going back 20 years, they've been investigating him much longer. I'm gonna have to come back and do another live, guys, and then I'll link it. What I'll do when I find out who she is, I'll do another live and I'll link it in the chat below. That's what I'll do. I'll also pin to the chat my Cash App and PayPal if you want to support the channel.